All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 140-pound division where Shakur Stevenson denies getting played by Teofimo Lopez, despite the fact that everybody in boxing thinks he's getting played. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about the boy that talked himself into a lot of problems, and that is Shakur Stevenson, who is claiming that he will be fighting Teofimo Lopez in the early part of 2026, despite many rumors to the contrary that Teofimo Lopez is just playing with Shakur Stevenson. Please say it is not true, because if this is true, Shakur Stevenson going to have a lot of problems getting fights for the rest of his career. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much. And thank you to everybody. I say this every video because it really is important to the channel. Thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks. Even when you leave $1, that's 100 views. If you leave $10, it is 1,000 views. It really does help the video, and it just blows it up without having to rely on the algorithm to assist everything. So thank you guys, to tip your hat for the work. But let's get into this, because there was a fighter. I'm talking about Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. But before I get into that, I want to review the history of another fighter that Shakur Stevenson reminds me a lot of, and that is Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr., like Shakur Stevenson, was one of the best young American fighters that there was. Absolutely terrific, electrifying fighter in every fight that you've seen him fight. Even when he was at his first world championship, when he was put in with Vasily Lomachenko, who, by the way, had like 9 million amateur fights and had basically been fighting as a professional amateur for years. Gary Russell Jr. lost to him on a split decision and even knocked down Lomachenko in that fight at 126, despite giving up immense size advantage to Lomachenko. He then went into he then reigned once he won, and I do believe in his next fight, won the championship in 126, reigned for 5 years. But absolutely nobody wanted to fight that slick southpaw that could punish you and make you look bad. So nobody fought him. Everybody in the 126-pound division, from Leo Santa Cruz to Abner Mares to Lee Selby, did not matter. They did not give Gary Russell Jr. a chance because they knew they couldn't beat him. Now, that is the type of fighter that Shakur Stevenson is. Shakur Stevenson, like Gary Russell Jr., is a very slick, crafty southpaw that is very difficult to beat. However, at the same time, is not a financial draw because of, well, I think Gary Russell Jr. has an exciting fighting style. I think Shakur has a exciting fighting style. But the fact that they're southpaws are always going to make them make matchmakers wary of them, because southpaws have an advantage over everybody they fight because most people are used to fighting orthodox people. Add to it an immense amount of skill, quickness, and power, they don't want to fight you. So Shakur Stevenson is in that situation. He was with Top Rank. Top Rank gave him a lot of fights, got him a lot of belts. Now he's a free agent and trying to find people to fight him. It's not going to be surprising if you find out that Teofimo-Lopez says, let me use Shakur Stevenson for the banter, for the back and forth, for the YouTube videos that will have my name in it, for the conversations that keep driving my name. I don't have any problem. I'm speaking in the voice of Teofimo-Lopez. I don't have any problem with saying I'll fight Shakur Stevenson because it keeps my name in the media, but I might actually have a problem fighting Shakur Stevenson if I can possibly find somebody else that's an easier fight, that is going to be a more exciting fight that I'll get money for. And I'll play the same back and forth game with Shakur Stevenson that Floyd Mayweather Jr. played with Manny Pacquiao for 5 years, that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. played with each other for years, right? That Devin Haney tried to play with Gervonta Davis for years. The one where I'm going to call you out every fight. We're going to talk about it every fight. But, we're going to let that fight marinate until everybody's really ready for it. No, that is not going to work because there will never be a time for that. Only hope for Shakur Stevenson is that Teofimo-Lopez is a man of honor and that he would not do something like play with him in the media. Now, Shakur Stevenson, for his part, came out on Twitter and said that it was cap what everybody's saying about this fight not taking place. I'll believe that the fight isn't cap when I hear the fight actually announced. I've been hearing about this fight for being basically done for a couple months now. At least a month now. How about you actually announce the fight so you don't allow Teofimo-Lopez to play that game with you? Let's not talk about it in the media. Go back and forth in Twitter and go and stare off at each other at every boxing event that we happen to be at the same time. How about we just go ahead and get the contract signed? Let's get the agreement made. Let's get the agreement memorialized in a documented agreement. And then let's step into the ring and actually fight. But when you give people all of the benefit, except the money, obviously, but Teofimo-Lopez is going to get money in his next fight regardless. But you give him all the benefit of fighting you without ever really honestly, seriously being willing to do it. Crazy. But I hope this is not the case for Shakur Stevenson. I hope Shakur Stevenson is right in trusting that Teofimo-Lopez is a man of his word. I don't trust Teofimo-Lopez to be a man of his word. Matter of fact, this is not the first time that I felt this way about Shakur when Shakur was talking about fighting somebody. Shakur was talking about fighting Devin Haney, and they were supposed to be having real discussions about that. But as soon as that fight got anywhere kind of serious, what happened? Devin Haney grabbed his bags, packed them up, gave Shakur Stevenson a 25% offer that he knew he wasn't going to take, and he kept it pushing the same way that Teofimo-Lopez is going to probably try to play Shakur. Now, for Shakur, I would suggest, and he's not going to take my advice, settle down with the promoter, man. That's what promoters are there for. Fighters like Shakur Stevenson. Promoters are there for fighters like Gary Russell Jr., where you can sign with them and they can find a way to put pressure on people to fight. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. I hope that this fight goes down. I hope Shakur doesn't get caught out there with his hands in his, get caught with his hands in a cookie jar, and boom, he winds up getting tricky, because I know for sure Shakur Stevenson is trying to be tricky and trying to be strategic with Gervonta Davis. Don't play the game, man, because somebody might play you. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.